So I was accosted by somebody who said that I was a scared MFer and a racist. I don't know if he's ever heard my show or knows who I am, but I asked him for proof, and then he said, "You're scared." And I said, "You only live once, so it's not worth it to be scared." But he was an older gentleman, probably late 50s, maybe early 60s. He seemed like he was not, he wasn't homeless or I've run into this gentleman before, I believe, and he's called me, he's called me a racist before. And I don't know where, I don't know, like if he knows me or how it is, but it made me very angry what he did, and very upset. My stoic calm, I didn't like fight him or anything like that. I mean, it was something that I wanted to be more aggressive in my approach to him, because calling someone a racist is a stigmatization, and at this point in time, it carries heavy weight. And if you're accused of being a racist, today it seems like you don't have due process to really defend yourself. It's really it's really the accusation that carries a lot of weight. And if the powers that be or the establishment considers you a racist, that's the done deal. And I also got in, I don't know where this person came from, but another person who makes my blood boil, along with Scott, at this point, like, because I believe that people like Scott embolden people like the guy that called me a racist to a degree. He kind of, he's a Black Lives Matter, a little bit of an Antifa supporter, and he supports all the nonsense that the left come out with. And I think the left should be opposed, not just in America, but through the whole civilized world, because the left makes the world uncivil. And it's not intellectual. It's not objective. It is completely attack, attack, attack. And I think you have to come at them the same way they come at you. You cannot be diplomatic with people that are that vicious and coming with that kind of malice. And I don't, like, look, I don't have power, but I I personally think the best thing we can do is not. It's not enough not to be woke. If you've proven to be woke once, you have to be anti-woke. You have to be anti-left, because this is, to me, it's really gotten really bad with the behavior, and they've really become emboldened with their behavior, and many of them support the right to use violence in order to gain their objective. And this includes anti-maskers too. If you're a person that's an anti-masker or an anti-vaxxer, Antifa will get violent. The potential there is a good potential that they will get violent with you. Joe, I'm going to bring on Angela. Do you have anything to say about what I've just said?
I do, because you mentioned, I'm hearing a bit of an echo. You mentioned call to act civilly or civil. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of the definition of civil and you understand what you're saying, what the implication is when you say something like that. I think also there's a misconception with the idea of being a peaceful person rather than a peaceable person. Big difference in those meanings. And here, I'm just going to share my screen. So we have that definition up there. And I just want to take a quick browse through civil. Of or relating to citizens, of or relating to the state or its citizenry. You got to know the meaning of, by the way, of.
My main thing of civil
Hold
is
on.
okay,
You don't get to choose. Unfortunately, you don't get to choose that. The meaning, the word has meaning across the board. So if you can't claim ignorance, you can't claim anything. But if you're saying the word, you got to know that it boils down to a definition down here, way down here, number 5, of time, based on the theoretical mean sun and legally recognized for use in ordinary affairs. What is the mean sun? Based on the mean sun, it is a fictitious sun used for timekeeping that moves uniformly across the celestial. This is all based on the civil calendar. You're talking about ideas that Rome, the ideas of Rome. So just so you know, when you use the word civil, it's a Roman word. So just FYI, and just a little bit deeper look.
But you're discounting adequated and courteous and politeness, and we are moving away from a polite society. These are not mannerly, decent people. These are vindictive people filled with malice.
Funny that that's the way that they would describe the Romans.
What, malice?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, again.
But I hear you what you're saying, and I know you're using it to get a point across. So I stick with it. I just want to make sure we're looking. You know, you're taking a deeper look. You're later. I'm going to do a show based and explain some other ideas that I think you'll be interested in. But for now, let's move on.
I have a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Civil discourse. Maybe that might help. What do you think? Concluded.
Maybe. I mean, maybe that might be.
Well,
you know, because I think that's a term in the term civil, and you can take, like, there are many definitions of civil, but the civil rights movement was meant on courtesy, politeness, and mannerly, and the things that are unmannerly and cruel. And these people on the left are not courteous, they are not polite, they are not mannerly. They are vindictive, and they are filled with malice. And they are filled with a form of mobocracy that fuels their mind. And they are almost like it looks like they're Pol Pot fanatics who think that they're going to make the best for society. And they know what's best, and you shut up. And you shut up and you take what I say. And if you disagree with me, I'm going to come after you.
Well, I was talking
my beliefs.
And
that's what I see with him.
But with civil discourse, I think that means more of a conversation. And I could be wrong on that. JP, do you mind looking that up? Civil discourse, the official definition. So we can progress from where our society is now to a society where I can respect your voice and you will respect mine, and even if we differ.
So a society of civil discourse. Well, yeah.
It's just a on-the-spot idea. Could be wrong, could be helpful. I don't know. JP, are you still there? Or Joe?
I think he's dealing with his puppy dogs. But I think you may be right about civil discourse.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it right there. I can't quite read it on my small phone. If you can read the definition aloud when he finds it, because I think that's a good point of order. with the situation that America and other countries of
No,
European
there's no
descent.
separate definition for civil discourse. It's all relates back to Rome. It's a Roman-based word.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at something that we can look at as a possible solution.
Again, things have, etymology, but things have, the way they are today. So, I mean, we live in a far more civilized, and the only word I can come up with, civilized and in society where rights are respected than many other nations. And leftism, in my opinion, promotes envy, and it promotes hypocrisy, and it promotes gaslighting. Or at least they will lie, they will gaslight, and sometimes downright lie in order to gain advantage.
What do you want your audience to hear? If you could have them right in front of you, what would you like to let them know?
I would like debate, and the thing is, leftists at this point do not debate, but they control. My problem is they control both the mainstream media and social media. So we cannot put up an effective defense against their behavior. Now, there are ways they are working around it.
I would say that if you come from a point of defense, more than likely a person who's debating loses if they come from a point of defense. So
Well,
perhaps we can change the
I'm talking.
paradigm.
I'm talking.
And if you'll let me talk
I'm not
one more
talking about
sentence.
debate.
Okay, I understand, but debate is part of conversation, even though it's more formal. But sometimes we need boundaries to define us, to let us know who we are. And when we define our boundaries, you can live within them. And if someone else defines the boundaries, such as the left has done for society, then they become restrictions. So I'm trying to find a way where we can move the boundaries, where both sides have their own boundaries and have a shared space. Concluded.
Angela, they are not allowing that to happen. They won't allow you to debate. They take you off. They decide which conservatives or which groups are allowed to have a voice and which groups are not.
Then let it begin here. Let's find someone that is like I used to be, far left. Not that I was like the progressively aggressive left that we have today. Perhaps we can find someone that can have civil discourse with you. I think that's a beginning.
Well, and you're right, but I think that we need to. I think this is primarily an economic Cold War. And someone asked me, "What are civil rights?" I'm going to grasp at straws here, and that's a good question. But I'm going to assume that they're rights that a civil society gives all of its citizens.
Actually, and you need to be 100% sure on this because you throw the word around a lot.
Okay.
Okay, you need to know that civil rights are granted to corporate persons of color. Just so you know.
What?
Go look it up. I don't make this up.
The rights granted to people of color? Is that what you said?
That's right. It's the ultimate deception. People think it's about like the color of your skin, but it is absolutely nothing to do with that at all. And not only that, they're not rights at all. They're privileges.
Question.
Okay.
If civil means citizen, wouldn't it mean citizen rights? I mean, is there different points of view on
citizen?
what citizen? Just let me finish. Are there
Citizen,
different views? Are there different views on what civil rights are? Concluded.
Okay. Yeah, you need to know more definitions. It's plain and simple. But these are good questions. But you should come aware of the definition of a citizen, and you'll come to recognize it's not the living man and woman. It is the corporate identity. Absolutely, it's your name in capital letters. So, and I don't want to go too far into that. It's not where we're headed. But I just want to be clear.
Common legal
I
application.
disagree.
The most common
And
legal
you're going
application
against law.
of the term civil rights involves the rights guaranteed to U.S. citizens and residents by legislation and by the Constitution. Civil rights protected by the Constitutions include freedom of speech and freedom from certain types of discrimination. Not all types of discrimination are lawful, and most of an individual's personal choices are protected by the freedoms to choose personal associates, to express himself or herself, and to perceive personal privacy. Civil rights legislation comes into play when the practices of personal preference and prejudice of the individual, a business entity, or government interferes with the protected rights of others.
Okay, is man used anywhere in that definition? Absolutely not. Persons.
I think he did say
is.
male and female at one point, and I have to say,
That's
ding,
not.
ding,
That's
ding.
very
He
different.
dealt you
I'm
almost a
talking
death
right now,
blow there,
Angela. I'm
Joe.
talking.
Joe,
Hello?
he dealt you a
Hello?
death blow.
Hello. Listen, you got to know what you're saying when you use these words. That's all there is to it. When they're not specifically identifying the man or the woman, they are talking about a corporate identity.
Aren't we? You said before, are we not a corporate identity?
Are you a corporate identity?
Yeah. I mean, aren't we a
You might be.
No. You are a man.
Corporations, people.
From what the Supreme Court said, yes, they are.
The word, yes. The word people, the people is a communal term, right? It's everyone. So
I mean, for me,
it's the collective.
In layman's terms, I believe that a lot of people are being mistreated, and the left is primarily responsible for that mistreatment.
Well, I want to go back to the definition that Brian had said about civil rights, because I think he was more correct, in my opinion. And in my experience as an activist, it's okay if you don't care. I'm still going to state it.
You're way wrong. So don't say I'm wrong when you're wrong.
I think you're incorrect. I think you're incorrect.
Okay.
I think Brian is correct.
You may think a lot of things, but I'm telling you what I know.
I believe and I understand that Brian is correct. And that may be an alternative reality that you were discussing, Joe. That's just my opinion. It's no affront to you.
I know it's an opinion. Everybody's got one. So that's okay. I'm just making sure you understand that you yourself can go in and look at the definitions and learn for yourself. You don't have to, guess. You don't have to think. You can know for yourself. So just want to make that clear. And that's all I want to point to, is that people need to open up dictionaries again and start relearning what they thought they knew, because in most cases, it just isn't the case. And there's a lot of words where I think I may think I know it, but I always look it up because I know there's something in there that I'm missing. And these are words that I've been going over for years, and that's okay. I mean, I get the layman's term. Unfortunately, the layman's term has been corrupted, and there's a lot of twisting, and unfortunately, most people don't want to take the time to go and relearn what they think they already know. And that's okay, Angela. I'm not judging. I'm just saying you have an opportunity with that. So, concluded.
Hold on. Oh,
We should.
hold
we
on,
should-
guys. I was putting basically. I was posting this all over the place. There's many places that allow me on anymore. It's not that like I'm allowed anywhere.
Well, let me do some housekeeping while you're doing that.
And by the way, if you can share this, Angela, that would really be appreciated.
I will,
Thank you.
but I want people to know that if you will kindly click on the like button, if you're listening to this, if it's not live, if you don't mind clicking the like button, it would help this podcast get off and running. Also, if you could click the subscribe, that would be even better. And if you're really daring, if you're really bold, ring that notification bell. And when we have another podcast coming up, when it's live, you'll hear about it. You'll get a notification. So click like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell and visit. What is the website, Joe? Because it has merch on it.
Transparency and merit.
.com.
.com.
.com. But you know what? I mean, my Stoic com is not good for today.
Hey, look who it is! It's Debbie. She's in the crowd. What's up, Debbie?
And she says that Brown Beasley is kicking ass on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, really? She needs to come on and share. Come on, why not? She probably doesn't get a lot of free time. It's Labor Day tomorrow.
A bad combination would be Angela and Brown Beasley.
Yeah, I had to delete that.
No, I don't want Brown Beasley, but Debbie, she's cool. So, and she's intelligent. Why don't you invite her in?
I have invited her in. She is there. Debbie, you're invited if you want. I'm going to look at Brown Beasley right now.
Dang, he's getting about.
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna
it's a show, so yeah, he does pretty well.
Well, maybe people hate him enough to show up. I don't know. But I'm not a fan of this dude. Everybody, I'm not a fan. So.
Well, I'm going to look him up right now as we're talking about Brown Beasley.
I like to hear what Debbie has to say on this topic of civil rights and what it means. And we could talk about white fragility.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, she won't. And the thing is, these people will not. Well, he did do one. Willie Lynch letter is fake. That was a year ago, though. If you can put a thing in for Brown Beasley, I want to see where he. Jeez. I'm looking at Brown Beasley. Willie Lynch letter is fake. That's the only thing.
Debbie, come on in.
Debbie,
clink that link. I can't even talk tonight.
His name is Beasley for president.
Sorry. I think I'll look at the stars for a moment. I need a distraction.
Yes, cool off. Keep stoic. So just to recap here, Brian went to work this morning, and crossed the path of a man who both of you were walking.
Yeah.
Black man passes you. He stops, and he says, "You are a coward."
He said, right? You're a scared racist.
What?
He said, you're a scared racist motherfucker. And I said, where's your proof?
Scared racist MFer.
Yeah.
And you said,
wow.
I said,
give me evidence.
Where's your proof?
Where's your proof?
Good response.
That is on the fly. That's the way you need to think. That's good. And so then he just kept on trucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey man, He's live right now.
Yeah, I used to have him on my Skype, but I don't see him now.
Oh, well. Yeah, it's Beasley for president, and he is live right now.
You putting
You got 73 people watching right now. Beasley for president.
So, Debbie, could you tweet this show for Brian? He could
I-
use the support. Well, who knows?
It doesn't matter what she tweets. I don't really care. You know what I mean? She can do what she wants.
Well,
It's up-
asking her a question is not a crime.
No, it's absolutely not. Absolutely not. But,
And I'm sorry that happened to you today. What an awful thing.
well, yeah. Yeah, well, hey, you know, if you can get that many, I mean, but I mean, my opinion is this. As I've said before, I think the left has emboldened a lot of these people to get away with things, and the left participate. I mean, the left is very much gaslights and does hypocrisy, and hypocrisy and gaslighting are things that abusers do, and that's what leftists do best. And they also have a lot of malice.
Brown Beasley should invite you on his show to tell this story.
You know what?
I think that would be good.
I might go on there. I don't know. But,
Well, do you want to end the show early and go into his audience? He'll probably invite you in.
you know, maybe I'll go in. Let me go.
I'm going to just listen on YouTube. So I won't be a distraction.
Joe, do you want to go and listen to Brown Beasley show on YouTube, and we'll make a few comments? Joe? All right.
Debbie, go ahead.
Can you forward me the link, or tell what's the name of the show?
It's Beasley for president. I can give you the link. I'll give you the link in Discord.
I have it.
And is that the name of the channel?
Yeah. Beasley for president. Yeah. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna end the show. Hey guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Why don't you keep it running for a second? And then
I don't want to. Joe, I do not want to run the risk of playing another show and getting.
Right.
All right, then let's close
you can always start up again if you want. And Debbie, thank you so much for coming by. I wish you would have came on the show. I would even left for you to come on.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you came by.
Hopefully Debbie will be back a little more often, and we'll get to talk to her soon. All right, let's close it down.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because after my last strike, I don't want to.
Let's close it now.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and visit our website at transparencyandmerit.com.